Hey guys, welcome to Muse and Magic 1111. My name is Aisha, intuitive, empath, muse, spiritual advisor, and healer. Today we're going to jump right into a celebrity reading for the one and only Justin Bieber, who just celebrated a birthday on March 1st. Yes, I know, I'm a day late, a dollar short, right? But he is still the birthday boy. It's still Pisces season. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look into his destiny cards, right, for this particular year. He is 26 years of age at this time. He's a March 1st birthday, born in 1994, okay? So that makes him a 9 of spades. I could tell you what you are if I only knew your birthday. So we're just going to focus on Justin for today, okay? And for me, I'm October 31st. I'm a 4 of hearts. Again, I'm a 4 of hearts woman. So just to kind of give you an idea of how each different birthday corresponds with just a very different card, okay? A different suit and a different number. So we're going to just dive right in, right? And just see what's going on with Justin for this year. And this is one of the first readings I'm actually able to do right at the birthday start. And so we're going to get the whole reading instead of me having to leave certain things out because that season for him has already passed. So what a destiny card reading does is it takes your full year from birthday to the next birthday, right? And it breaks it up into planetary seasons, starting with the Mercury season. Mercury usually starts on the day of your birthday and it lasts for about 6 weeks, like a month and a half or so. So each season is about a month and a half. Usually I would actually write down the dates of these seasons as well so that you know specific dates that I'm talking about when this season begins and ends. I did not do that for this reading, so I'm so sorry. So you're just going to kind of have to keep up. Okay, so basically what I've done is done this whole reading ahead of time. I've already made notes because, again, this could be a very lengthy reading. It took me a long time to get all this information out. So I just took notes to kind of keep it short and brief. And this video is already probably going to be fairly long, okay? But I just like keeping things as short as possible, okay? So Justin Bieber, once again, was born March 1st of 1994. This reading also applies for anyone born on February 3rd or January 5th, because that would make you also a 9 of spades, female or male, okay? But it only applies to you if you are in your 26th year of life. It's very specific to the 26th year of life for the 9 of spade person, okay? So with that being said, we're going to get to the good stuff, all right? Okay, so we're going to first start off talking about the 9 of spade personality, okay? So this is one of the most potent cards in the universal cards, okay? It's the strongest mental urge for these people is to let go of negative patterns this lifetime, right? Especially as it pertains to personality and lifestyle, okay? Either their lives could be filled with lots of losses, or the flip side of that is they could be filled with a lot of giving and fulfillment, okay? The most important aspect I feel like for these personalities is that something must die, right, in order for it to be born again anew. And I think that just pertains a lot to something pertaining specifically to their experience here, their personality, their experiences in their thought process, and how they view. I think I might have gotten cut off, but how they also interact and view their perception of relationship, right? They can also make great contributors, you know, to humanity because they are the giver of givers, right? This is the giver of giver card, right? A lot of them tend to be teachers, performers, or artists, very successful in those arenas, okay? So it's no surprise that Justin is a very professional, very successful artist, performer, right? They have very strong emotions, okay? Also a very strong love power. And I think their main fulfillment here on the planet in this lifetime would be on a mission of love, okay? Just learning the true lesson of love unconditional. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to try to get on to the Pluto season. Okay, Pluto really just gives us a roundabout feel of about how the whole year is going to go, what the theme of the lessons and love, life, finances, success, and you know what the main energies of this year is going to be for a specific person. Okay, and today it's going to be Justin, right? So in his Pluto, he has 2 of spades. Okay, what that means for him is that he's very likely to be learning lessons, a lot of lessons about or pertaining to compromise, right, and cooperation. Okay, especially as it pertains to like work partnerships or like a live-in partner or a friend. He is married, and so that's pretty obvious, right? It could be in the marriage department, right? It could be there. So just be open really to how everything shows up for you. These are just generalizations, okay? Then, you know, there may be someone else. There is someone else who has skills or capabilities that you may need to help you be successful in business, so or for a specific project. And so it is very important that you're open, very important that you're cooperative, okay? And again, just what keeps coming up for me is compromise, okay? So cooperation should, you know, just be basically written across your forehead this season, okay? This whole year, just cooperation, okay? Then you gotta challenge yourself this year to work in harmony with others. Again, it's still participating with other people, cooperating with other people. That just keeps coming up as a goal. Again, this is something that just keeps coming up even for not just business partnerships and relationships, but also personal relationships. There's also a emphasis put on communication. Something that you need to work on is communicating. I feel like with the 9 of spades, especially the 9 of spades masculine, sometimes it's very hard. Like they're very good at hiding their emotions, not showing any kind of emotions or real affection about a thing. You know what I'm saying? Or towards people, just not showing that you're bothered. Okay, so again, if you don't show with action, then how can someone really know how you're feeling unless you communicate it? Okay, it doesn't matter what that emotion may be, but just communication is very key for you this year. So you have a very specific affirmation that you should hold on to for this whole season, for this next till your next solar return. Okay, that affirmation is: I create harmonious friendships and working relationships by learning to give and receive. Okay, so we're going to move on to the Mercury. Remember, this is 6 weeks later. Okay, so Mercury, I'm going to say it's a 10 of diamonds here. Okay, and so this time could bring financial disappointment somehow. Now, this will pass very quickly, but the fact is it may still be there. It may be connected to maybe some type of loss of money due to like a short trip, or possibly siblings, or family or something like that. It could be a loss in a quick get rich quick scheme. You know what I'm going to say for that, as far as it pertains to someone like Justin's, maybe not so much a get rich quick scheme, but more or less the wrong investments into something that's supposed to give you a quick and fast return, right? So be very mindful of that and where you're putting your money, okay, as far as investment. Then there could be a lot of mental anxiety from this financial loss, right? Naturally, okay? But the ending that could come in this season and in this period could bring forth a sense of freedom, a sense of expansion, if you're willing to just let go and move on. And remember, that was part of your Pluto, the theme of this year, being able to let go. I think I said that. If I didn't, that was part of it. So just being able to let go and, again, just move on, like not hold on to anything. And also just not take anything personal. Okay. Then you also have 7 of spades in this particular season, in this Mercury season. So 7 of spades shows up because it can indicate an illness that is connected with the head, like headaches migraines or something, some type of toothache, maybe even a slight head injury of sorts or some type of accident. Please don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Again, this could, when these types of messages come up, I know people like panic, like, oh my God, I'm going to have an injury to my head, or, no, that could just mean, something, falls on your head, or, you get hit by a kickball. I don't know. But at the end of the day, nothing, I don't feel like it's anything serious, like to hospitalize anyone. I just feel like there's going to be slight, and mainly what I feel like is headaches. Remember, this is a high time of a lot of awakening, spiritual awakenings. And again, I did this in another reading prior to this, about, I think it was like twin flames or something, but just about a lot of people having this pressure here, this vibrational feelings here, and also headaches in this right here at the top of the crown, right? Maybe even here. So just keep that in mind, because that is part of, a side effect to an awakening experience. And that's very important for you, Justin. I'm going to get. Okay, so with that all being said, this is just telling you that even everything that I'm talking about right now, even if it's an illness or a head thing going on, it's going to pass quickly, okay? Mercury is a fast-moving energy, so it's going to pass quickly. It's nothing detrimental, okay? But it is asking you to take a look at your work, at your health habits and your thoughts, the habits of your thinking, right? If you have stinking thinking, or, maybe being pessimistic about things or down on yourself about things, think about that. Does any of that need an upgrade in your life? And if so, start doing the work, okay? But I feel like exposure to spiritual wisdom, that's what's going to help you basically to like elevate yourself, and then also bring like this profound realization of truth, okay? A new truth, newer truths for you, okay? Okay, so in your Venus, season, you have the Seven of Clubs, okay? And so with this card, there can be challenges in your most heartfelt desires, okay? This can manifest itself as an argument with a woman or a loved one. This may also be subject, or you, may be subject to gossip or opposition towards your plans, towards your plans, especially as it relates to love, okay? You can transform any of these negative experiences by just elevating your attitude and letting go of fear and attachments, okay? Keep in mind, though, that your plans may not be the best plans for you. So be open to something better, because something better may be possible for you if you're open to it, okay? Then you also have the Nine of Clubs. Okay, so Nine of Clubs shows up in this particular season of Venus because it also is a card of disappointment with friends or someone that you love dearly, okay? Disloyal and uncooperative friends, okay, could be the source of much heartache. I feel like that's probably kind of also going to be a cause of some of those headaches we talked about, right, prior. Your own plans, progress could be sacrificed as a result of the current situation. So as a result of some of this disloyalty, some of this heartache that you'll be possibly experiencing from someone that you love dearly, okay? This just feels heavy. That's why I'm kind of pausing. Okay, so just kind of be mindful around this time, because this energy could also cause disloyalty or deception. I don't even want to. Disloyalty or deception in marital plans, or the betrayal of a friend or lover, or a mate or lover. Okay, but I for some reason I don't feel like that's an accident. Also a friend. Okay, so just adopting a more universal truth, a more universal understanding or understanding of love could basically bring success and happiness to even this influence. What I feel like right now is coming up for me that I need to say is that sometimes in relationships, whether it's friendships or our personal relationships, like marital or, sometimes what happens is that we feel this sense of ownership, that we need to control everything that happens, that we need to control the people around us and how they act around us. Because there is this notion that, you're representing not just yourself, you're representing me, you're representing us, as a team. But again, remember the season, the whole Pluto thing, the whole last season, just talking about letting go and moving on. So in that energy, you just have to go with the flow, be able to ride certain things out, be able to let go of attachments, non-attachment, and be able to allow people, those who you love, those around you, those who you are in a relationship with, to be themselves, without judgment, without controlling everything. Okay, and the more that you let go and just kind of allow and surrender, the happier you will be, and them. Okay, the more honest and authentic your relationship can be. I don't know, I just felt like I needed to say that, okay, just to expound on that piece. Moving on, we're going to go over to Mars. Okay, so in your Mars season, you have the Three of Spades. So Three of Spades just shows up because it indicates indecisiveness in business, like an undecidedness in business or work matters, possibly resulting in two jobs at once, right? Two opportunities at once. It doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, but if this is a legal situation, then yes, that's not so good, because that means if there's double-sidedness, indecisiveness, that means there's doubts, and then, that could indicate, unsettled issues in that department, okay? So, but if this is something that is pertaining to work, what could happen is just your aggressiveness to be successful, your aggressiveness to try and attain all of your desires at this time could lead you to just really take upon more than you can handle at this time. And just more projects, more, work. And so when that happens, it could end up being a little bit more draining than helpful to you at this time. So just be very mindful to pace yourself and to take the time to actually decide what's best for you, what it is you need to take upon, and what things you can kind of let go of. Remember, letting go. What things you can let go on and still accomplish your desires and goals, okay, for this season. Then you have the Queen of Hearts in your Mars as well. So this is a marriage situation during this period. It could be marked by a considerable amount of aggressiveness or sexual energy, right? So you can achieve much now with the application of emotional and social power and charm. Remember that Nine of Spades personality, they are full of charm and wit and love. They are typically very likable people, very charming people, okay? So this is represents that pretty much for you, right? So this also says a child could be born or conceived. Well, no, a child born or conceived at this time would most likely be a boy. Okay? It doesn't mean there will be one, but if there were to be one, the energies that are surrounding at this time and this season, that means it could more than likely be a boy, a masculine energy, okay? This is a card of sexual enjoyment. Yes, that's wonderful, right? Who doesn't love sexual enjoyment? But however, if you're already married to someone, then this could also mean this could easily turn to anger. So be very mindful. Again, communicate, right? Communication. And also just allow. I just feel like I have to say that. Just allow, right? Allow, surrender, okay? So just do things with your loved one at this time to pretty much channel this energy positively and constructively, okay? You may find that there are more than just one woman of hearts, one heart's woman that you may fall for, that you may have some attraction for, or some energy with. You know what I'm saying at this time? I'm gonna just leave that alone. Okay, But again, that's hearts women, and the only way you can know that is by knowing a birthday and being able to look up their destiny card, which can be Googled, by the way. For those of you who want to know your own, look up your birthday, Google destiny card, and you should be able to come across a website of sorts that will calculate that for you, okay, with the 52 card deck. Okay, so again, Jupiter is 6 of diamond, back on track, right? During this period, you may receive payment from others who owe you that will contribute to your financial success. So that's always a good thing. People coming back and paying back what they owe. Allow yourself to receive at this time. And also, a lot of your success is going to be coming from remaining consistent, right? Also, being open to compromise and cooperation. Remember, we talked about that. Making the proper adjustments within the content of your existing business agreements, okay? Just keep giving. I feel like, just keep giving. Remember, this is the giver of the giver card. Just keep giving and watch the returns keep coming in. Just like you receiving this gift coming from others who owe you. I mean, I just feel like you are naturally a giver when you really want to be. You have a really good heart to do so. So that's just important. I feel like that's just, that energy, that good karma you've planted in that way is coming back to you, okay, at this time. So you're going to end up expanding your operations, right? If it is creatively related to whatever business, maybe just creatively thinking of other ways to bring in more resources, more money, okay? More financial success. This is the time to do that. It's the best time now of good health, optimal health, overcoming any illness, those headaches or whatever was going on that was kind of wonky. Remember, we already talked about it, just passing quickly, not lasting very long. This is definitely a time of overcoming for you. You can overcome anything, any illness, any problems you've been experiencing, even if it's relationally or those situations with friends or disloyal friendships and whatnot, just by being consistent and integral, right? With integrity. Find ways, again, this comes up again, to expand your business interests, creative ways to create more of a flow, income flow, right? Success financially. It's favorable for you at this time, okay? Now, away from Justin Bieber, if this is one of the United States people who are like on a fixed income, then obviously this does not apply because, but then again, be creative in how, you can kind of make this happen for yourself. Some of you have ideas, creative ideas you've never moved on, you've never tried to put out there for the world to see, right? This is the time to do that, okay? Okay, so this is definitely a cycle of, creativity for you if you take advantage, okay? So then we're going to move on to Saturn, okay? The Saturn season. And Saturn, there sits the 7 of diamonds, okay? The 7 of diamonds is, it's a card of the loss of money, okay? A loss of money connected to illness and ill health, okay? Of yourself or of an associate or a friend or relative, okay? Sometimes what happens in those situations is that when someone that we know is sick and they can't, afford their bills, hospital bills and whatnot, sometimes we have to help in that way. So I just, again, always tell people, like, just be very open to how these energies play out in your life. Because it doesn't mean that it's something that you need to panic about, right? We think of loss of income. Oh my God, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that there's some. This could also mean that a lack of funds or like a loss somewhere in investment or something could cause you health issues, meaning those headaches, right? Pressure headaches or a little anxiety or something like that. I don't want you to think that every time I talk about ill health that it means something like really dramatic or drastic. It does not have to be, okay? It could be very minor, okay? Okay, so you'll be focused on your level of like prosperity. You can focus on that, or your level of loss. And so we're just going to say that there's going to be a focus on prosperity, okay, at this time. So what you want to do is just continue to think positively, be optimistic about things, moving forward, and just know that this is definitely still going to be a financial time of success, okay? Or even if not, that it can be turned into a financial success, okay? So again, let's move on down to the Three of Clubs, because that's the next card in this particular Saturn season, okay? The Three of Clubs basically shows up because it talks about fears and worries of the future that could cause major concerns. You know, again, sometimes when we take losses, we start worrying about the future, the next big thing, the next thing. How am I going to fix this, right? Fear of the future. So worry could also be related to the illness of a family member as well, right? Or self. But for some reason, I just feel like this is more outward, is more family oriented, family related. So either you worry about the illness of someone or something, or you're worrying about the illness of yourself. Whatever it is, though, there is this. So that or the worry causes the illness. Okay, again, those, headaches and whatnot. I don't know why panic attacks just came up for me, but, yeah. So what needs to happen here is that, and what you need to know here is that some of this might be karmic, right? This might just be coming back around from some past stuff. When I say the past, it could be past this lifetime, but it can also be past life stuff that we don't really connect to, or we don't really know and understand, right? If it hasn't been brought to the forefront to our attention. So this could also be something past life related karmically, okay? So just, all you can really do at this time is just take extra good care of yourself. Self-care comes up for me. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you're resting, that you're not overworking, that you're not over-worrying or overthinking. Okay, do the things you need to do to help you to relax and to ground. Okay, grounding. So now is the time you're going to have a lot of creativity in spite of everything that's going on around you. So it's the perfect time to utilize these experiences that you're having and put them into some type of creative project, right? Or to take your mind off of the worry, mind off of being too much in your head, by just utilizing your creativity, just getting out there and creating what you do, doing what you do best, basically, okay? Because this can always turn around, and it will, for the better. This will help you to be optimistic. This will help you to express yourself in a more positive way. Again, because that is your lesson, your Pluto this year, right? To think positive, to stay in that positive resonance, right? And to just let go of the past, let go of past disappointments, past fears, or, past behaviors or ways of thinking that no longer serve you or your higher self, okay? Moving on to your Uranus season, okay? We have the Ace of Hearts in your Uranus. Okay, so this means the unusual comes into your life. You might even be the recipient of a very unusual romantic proposition. Okay, ooh, that sounds interesting. Also, and then remember that unusual can also mean new age. It can mean spiritual, Aquarian, sudden, or ahead of its time, right? It can mean any of those things. So, this time can also bring about about a desire to work, to acquire, about, the occult, or mystical, futuristic knowledge, okay? So this is a time, what this really feels like to me, I'm just feeling the energy as I'm I'm reading my notes, but I'm also just feeling a lot of things coming in. Okay, so forgive me if I get a little tight-tongued, but I feel like this is a time for you where you're going to be seeking different truths, seeking knowledge, seeking wisdom on a deeper level, seeking knowledge of yourself, going introspective, right? Just really learning more about yourself on the path of trying to transcend, okay? Ascension, I should say. So you're going to be meeting some very interesting people. For some reason, weird comes to mind. They're going to seem strange, but that's because they're very different. They are very wise as well. They have information they're going to be bringing to you, okay? Some of them about yourself. Some of them are just going to be very intuitive, and they're going to be really speaking to your soul. Helping you to remember who you are. I don't know. I just have to say that, okay? And then I'm going to get back on task. But just be very mindful. Just be very open to how universe is going to start bringing messages to you, because it is already trying to communicate with you, and I think you have already been experiencing some of those things, certain synchronicities and whatnot. Okay, so man, yeah, that's great stuff. You're gonna just find yourself like I don't know. I think you're going to find your work and then real estate affairs going really, really well. This is going to start being a very successful time for you in business, especially with this new understanding that's coming to you about mundane information coming into you about yourself, right? This is going to be a very high spiritual time for you, I feel. Okay? And then, so with your relationships, again, it's just a message for you to just kind of take a step back, slow down, right? Let people be who they are. Let go of attachments and control, right? And then just, I don't know, like you're going to gain like really great friendships or come into really great relationships with people and even your lover by just allowing people to be, right? Just kind of surrendering to unconditional love and acceptance. Okay, or finding like a new truth about that, a new way that you feel about that, and what that represents to you, what that means to you. Okay, so last but not least, this is like the last 6 weeks before your next birthday, and this is your Neptune season. Okay, you have a Jack of Hearts here, which is a highly spiritual influence. So with this card showing up, it could bring profound revelations about, or excuse me, which inspire you basically to new levels of thought and action, looking at things differently, finding different perspective, acting even differently, right? Your dreams and cherished desires are now undergoing like a real transformational upgrade, right? To higher levels of truth and spirituality. And I think your work is going to start reflecting that. Your business, your creativity is going to start reflecting that, these changes within yourself. They may prompt you also to give up old patterns of thinking. I know they will. It's not that they might, but I know they old dreams and ambitions, right? Because now there's going to be a bit of a switch, and you're going to start moving towards helping others in a selfless way, in a more selfless manner. Okay, that's going to be like more of a brought to the forefront focus for you at this season. Okay, so ultimately, I mean, I think it's a really great read. There are some, rocky starts, to the first couple of seasons with the losses financially. Maybe just things, investments not working out as you plan, not bringing in as big of a return as planned. But that's okay, because you do know that you're going to bounce back from that. These things do not last very long. Your creative juices are going to get flowing once again, especially inspired by this new truth that you're going to start coming into. I feel like more or less you've already started experiencing some of these things now. Certain, like I said before, synchronicities, certain things, dreams, thoughts, things that you, people that you've been meeting that are triggering certain things within you, inside you, unlocking certain things within you to start remembering who you are and causing an awakening effect, okay, on you. I don't want to get too deep into what that even is, but I do know on the planet there's just a lot of that energy going around, and I do feel led to do certain readings for certain artists and certain people, because I do know and intuitively feel like these are artists who are going to start going through an awakening at this time, or very, very soon in the near future. Okay, so I enjoyed that. I think most of all, I'm just really excited to see the changes and the transformations happening all over the planet, but especially with our favorite people, people like just people we like to follow, right? So just thank you, Justin, for allowing us to kind of sneak peek into your life for this next coming year. And for those of you who enjoyed it, please press the like button, of course. And I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for tuning in again. And until next time, peace, love, wellness, wholeness to you. And all you're getting, get understanding. And remember, love brings change. Peace.